So, we use theory to explain how and why things are certain ways in a given society. And there are three major theories in sociology. We've been through this before. And all these theories are essentially what we call the grand theories. So if you go to page 14 of your book, grand theories are theories on a larger scale. They try to explain universal larger scale relationships and to try to answer fundamental questions of how and why societies are the way they are. And because grand theories attempt to explain large scale relationships or universal mechanisms, it's very difficult to test the grand theories. We kind of know they exist, but it's almost impossible to test them. So these, if you scroll further down to this page, these are the three main grand theories of sociology. They are all very high level theories that seeks to explain the universal mechanisms or the larger scales relationships in any given society. And you can read the definitions of each of them on your own when you go home. So, your book calls it functionalism theory, and some textbooks called it the structural functional approach. So, whether it's called structural functional approach or the functionalism theory, it doesn't matter. We know it originates from the word function. And according to this theory, the functions played by the major entities in any given society, the economic system, which are responsible for distributing jobs, creating goods, rendering services. All these are our economic entities, the factories, the corporations, the businesses, our supermarkets. These are all our economic system. And our education system, our school system, the college system, elementary school, kindergarten, they all fall under this category. And they have their own functions, which are different from the economic system. Remember, the structural functional approach originates from this word, function. And then we have the political or the government system, yet they play a different function in our society. They have different roles and responsibilities in any given society. And we have the religious institutions, the temples, the synagogues, the churches, the mosques, and so on and so forth. They yet play a different function. And we also have the healthcare system. I forgot to put it here. And yet they play a different function. And we also have the family system with different responsibilities and roles. So all these entities in any given society, in any country, in any society, regardless of their economic or political system, whether it's a socialist country, a communist country, or a capitalistic system, they have all these major social institutions or major systems that plays different functions. And according to the functionalist theory, even though all these entities have different functions. Through all these different functions, they help maintain order and stability in any given society. They help maintain order and stability through social facts. So what are social facts? Social facts are all these things: the laws, the regulations, the morals, the value system, the belief system, the regulations. So, if you Google the word social fact, I think it's somewhere in your textbooks too. These are what we mean by social facts. And all these things serve to hold society together through different entities with different functions. Hope I'm making myself clear so far. So, the functionalist theory was initially coined by Emile Durkheim. He sees society like an organism, like a cell, with the nucleus and different parts of the cell. And all these different parts of a cell or organism have different function. So, he views society like an organism with different functions. All these functions played by different entities keep society running smoothly through social facts. And Durkheim assumes that people are always united, all society is always integrated. And he invented a new word called solidarity, which means integration. According to Emile Durkheim, solidarity is what holds our society together. And solidarity is not an outdated concept according to Durkheim. In traditional agricultural society, we have mechanical solidarity. And if you have seen Little House on the Prairie, those societies were simpler, right? Or societies in the Wild West, all these old cowboy movies, those societies were simpler. And there were a few key individuals. They play different functions. The roles and responsibilities of people living in those societies were simpler. And we call societies like that societies characterized by mechanical solidarity. If you've seen Little House on the Prairie, it's an old movie. If you picture the doctor is a physician. He treats illnesses, diseases. Sometimes he also serves as an optometrist. He gives eye exams, and he also serves as a dentist. And there was a teacher in that committee. There was a store owner. Things were simpler in those societies. Simpler, but people in those societies were integrated by mechanical solidarity. And with industrialization, modernization, the notion of integration changed in any given society. According to Emile Durkheim, the nature of solidarity changed. In modern society, in modern urbanized industrialized society, now we have organic solidarity. We have different kinds of accountants for different purposes. we have auditors, we have fraud accountants, we have tax accountants, and so on and so forth. We have different kinds of doctors, different kinds of dentists, different kinds of surgeons, even different kinds of criminal justice professionals. Even though people's roles and responsibilities are more refined in today's society, our today's society is still integrated. And this is one manifestation of the concept of solidarity. Are we clear? So, I think solidarity is somewhere in your textbooks. You can just do a search on it. And this is a definition of solidarity given by your book. So, in your midterm and final, your definition comes directly from the book, word by word, verbatim. So, make sure you can download your textbooks and make sure you read your textbooks diligently if you want to do well in your midterm and final. Are we clear? So, according to Emile Durkheim, he was French, by the way. All these different entities in society, the economic system, education system, family system, the government or political system, and the healthcare system, and the religious organizations, they have different functions. But because of their different functions, they can work together. Because of that, we still see solidarity or some kind of integration back then and now, even though the nature of our society changes. All these entities with their different functions, they serve to maintain order and stability or even equilibrium in any society through their different functions. And what do we mean by that? This is what we mean. Parents from the family institutions, parents, they send kids to school with the hope that the kids will study hard, eventually get a good job, and eventually graduate high school, graduate college. And when the kid graduate college, maybe they get a stable job, a good job, and through their employment, they are able to pay taxes to the government, the political institutions. So, families send kids to school. If the kids graduate high school and college, was hired by an economic entity, be it a government, a business, a school system, or a company or a business. The kid, now an adult, is going to pay taxes to the political system, generate some tax revenues, and the government is going to use all these tax revenues to fund the school system, to fund subsidized healthcare, maybe to subsidize some family who are struggling. So as you can see, all these systems are integrated and interconnected through their different functions. This is the essence of the functionalist theory or functionalism theory. Are we clear? And maybe the kid, if he or she gets a good job, stable job in his or her adult life, the kid can also help support the family, support the parents in their old age in some way. So all these systems through their different functions are interconnected. as we can see from here. And when somebody is laid off due to things beyond his or her control, the person gets what? Unemployment insurance for 6 months or so. And this unemployment insurance is funded by the government, is paid in by the corporations, the businesses, the factories. So these two are also interconnected. This is what we mean by the functionalism theory. Are we clear?